Israel has thrown India into a major geopolitical dilemma. Tel Aviv wants Delhi to declare Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, a terrorist organization. At a time when India is desperately trying to secure energy routes through the Strait of Hormuz, the request comes as a surprise. Because IRGC is not just any other militia. It is the force that has kept the current Tehran leadership in power through crackdowns on dissent, including the mass protests of 2025 and early 2026. It is the force that has been at the center of the US-Israel war on Iran that began in February 2026. And most importantly, it is also guarding the critical Hormuz chokepoint through which around 40% of India's overall energy requirements pass. Here is what exactly the Israeli officials told Indian journalists in Tel Aviv today.
Just about a distance away, you can see we have Bethlehem there, now predominantly a Muslim town. But at one point, of course, this we all know is the place where Jesus was born, a very holy city for the Christians. But now we're told that Christians are a minority in this city. But larger point being that we are right now reporting from Israel and we are right now in Jerusalem, and we had earlier in the day meetings at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and in the backdrop of this entire Iran war that is happening right now, and foreign ministry officials tell us that they want India to designate the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or the IRGC, as a terrorist organization. Two senior Israeli officials that I spoke to personally saying that the same has been conveyed to Indian officials at various diplomatic levels. The IRGC, the Israeli officials said, has already been sanctioned by nearly 44 countries across the world. They say that there have been direct threats against India and other countries from the IRGC, which they've brought to India's attention, and they want India to designate the IRGC as a terror state. Just like Australia has, they said they had been seeking to Australia to designate IRGC as a terror organization, which even the Australians at one point did not want to do that. They wanted, they said that we have no proof that there is any terror activity. However, what happened in 2024, they found IRGC links to certain anti-Semitic attacks in Melbourne and Sydney. This was 2024, after which Australia went ahead and declared IRGC as a terror organization. And these Israeli officials that we spoke to a while ago said that they took credit for that exercise, and now they're saying that they are warning India, and they've also warned other countries of threats that the IRGC may be imminently posing to these countries, and therefore they're alerting them to declare IRGC as a terrorist organization. Having said that, India having a large Muslim population itself, and of course with India has very close ties with Iran. There are traditional ties with Iran. We're trying to build a port in Chabahar, which of course is in the back burner right now. So it's slightly difficult for India to go ahead and declare Iran or IRGC as a terror organization. But having said that, the Israelis say they don't mind the delays in doing that. They are still friends with India, but they want India to go ahead and do this because they feel that a threat is imminent from the IRGC on Indian soil. This is Aditi Prasad reporting from Jerusalem.
Israel's request is not just diplomatic dilemma, it's a strategic curveball for India. And this is not the first time that Israel has tried to persuade India to do something it has never done: identify either Hamas or IRGC as terrorist organizations. Ever since the October 7 Hamas attacks, Tel Aviv has been running a quiet diplomatic campaign with friendly countries to expand the net of IRGC and Hamas designations globally. Israel has already taken credit for pushing Australia to designate the IRGC as a state sponsor of terrorism. The European Union moved to sanction the IRGC earlier this year. The United States, Canada, Australia, and Argentina have all formally designated it. The European Parliament has pushed for the same, but not India. even after the much-talked-about visit by PM Modi to Israel earlier this year, when he condemned the October 7 attacks and backed Israel's right to defend itself against terror attacks.
We feel your pain. We share your grief. India stands with Israel firmly, with full conviction in this moment and beyond.
But PM Modi's response came before Israel began offensive against Iran. IRGC is also the force that closed the Strait of Hormuz. India had a direct problem, being one of the world's largest energy importers. So what did India do? It activated its relationship with Tehran. Iran's Foreign Minister Syed Abbas Araghchi said India is a friend to Iran and assured that Indian ships would receive safe passage. And indeed, Iran initially allowed several India-bound petroleum vessels to transit the strait with military escort. India today has deep ties with countries that increasingly dislike each other: Israel, Iran, the United States, Russia, the Gulf monarchies, and each side now expects India to move closer strategically. But India's doctrine under External Affairs Minister Jaishankar has been very clear: multi-alignment. So will India declare the IRGC a terrorist organization? Right now, the chance of that happening is highly unlikely, because doing so would fundamentally damage India-Iran relations at the worst possible moment. It would also directly affect India's strategic interests in Chabahar, Central Asian connectivity and Gulf energy security. And most importantly, it could complicate India's ability to secure maritime access through Hormuz during an active regional crisis. Delhi understands that ideological signaling cannot come at the cost of national interest, especially when millions of Indian households depend indirectly on stable Gulf energy flows.
If they had a nuclear weapon, you would...
The old rules are breaking. Alliances are shifting.
Apologize again to the victims of the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Wars are redrawing maps. Oil routes can shake economies overnight. One election in America can impact markets in Mumbai.
No tax on tips.
One move by China can alter the balance in Asia. One conflict in West Asia can hit every Indian household. This is no longer a distant story. This is our story. Your story. Because for the first time in decades, India is not watching from the sidelines. India is rising. India is negotiating. India is balancing rivals. India is building military strength. India is shaping trade routes. India is becoming central to the new global order. And yet, most global news is still told through someone else's lens. Washington's lens, Beijing's lens, London's lens. But where is India's lens? Where is the platform that explains the world from our perspective? Welcome to India's Axis, a new destination for geopolitics. Strategy and power seen through India's eyes, from Neighborhood Watch to the biggest global stories that matter to you. Why tensions in the Taiwan Strait matter to India, how one move by China can affect India's security, what turmoil in Pakistan means for regional stability, how Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan shape India's neighborhood, why oil choke points can hit your wallet, how wars abroad can reshape India's security. This is not noise. This is not shouting. This is not recycled headlines. This is sharp, intelligent storytelling. Daily explainers, war room analysis, strategic conversations. Because news is everywhere, but perspective is rare, and in the age of confusion, clarity is power. Axis is for the audience that wants more than headlines. The axis of global power is shifting. India is at the center of that shift. It's time the world was explained accordingly, to understand the world through India's strategic lens. Subscribe now.